Hi, my name is Allie. I'm with Oasis Recovery Centers. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Dell, and he's just going to tell us a little bit about his story and his experience here at Oasis. If you want to just start off by telling me a little bit about yourself first.
Okay, I'm Dale, and it's my first time in recovery. I've been working for the same company. I've been maybe what you would call a highly functioning alcoholic. I've worked for the same company for 40 years, been very successful. But I've had things in my life that have happened to me, or happened to our family, that had me falling back into drowning my feelings in alcohol.
Would you be able to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well,
that happened?
Well, the post-traumatic event that really happened 9 years ago was the death of my son, my youngest son. And I'm the one that found him, and that kind of messed me up a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then I would go through periods, I would do well, I'd go to therapy, and something would happen, and I started drinking more. And here after I guess it really started bad with COVID, and I just got back from China. I had it. They didn't know what it was. And it took me a while to recover from that, and I was home during that time and started drinking more. And then, a couple months later, the whole research and development staff got furloughed. I'm a senior scientist, and I work on the future, not the present. So they didn't let us go, but furloughed all the R&D because we weren't necessary to maintain or run the plants. Mm. And during that period, I really started drinking more, and it just kept elevating and elevating. And as time went on, other things happened. Economy's not good, started laying people off. And this summer, again, I lost a lot of good connections I worked with my entire career. They let 200 people go in a period of a month. And I'm sitting there going, I'm the oldest guy on our R&D team with the highest salary. I'm thinking, I'm next.
Yeah.
And I started drinking even more and made it worse.
And when did you find out about Oasis?
Well, I had been through recovery situations with my son, my oldest son, because after the loss of his brother, we went through some tough times with him. And after 4 or 5 different recovery places not working, I dove in on the internet, started studying, found the Brown study from, I guess it was 1984. They didn't do anything with it. It was a government-funded project. They turned it over to Rutgers in 85. Then they turned it over to Texas Tech in 86. And Texas Tech built that into a huge collegiate recovery program. And they actually offer PhDs in addiction sciences now, and they have their own sober living campus within the campus. So they have their own dorms, they have their own student activity center. It's really kind of neat, and that's where I sent my son.
Okay.
And I set him down there, and that's where we saw the biggest recovery with him. And he started EMDR therapy. They were doing a lot of holistic things, a lot of meditation for him, but we really saw a change in him with the EMDR therapy. So when it came time to look for my own recovery here, I was looking for a place that just didn't cram the 12 steps down your throat. It wasn't all about the 12 steps. There's so much more to recovery, and that's what that study was all about. You have to treat addiction, mental illness, or any PTSD simultaneously, or you just ping pong back and forth. You deal with the addiction, don't pay attention to the other, it will cause the addiction. And so you got to deal with them both. They're co-occurring events. Mm-hmm. You got to deal with them together, and that's what Oasis does.
Yeah.
I like the Knoxville recovery. That's part of the Oasis group, all part of the same team. And HCAN, yes. I was struggling to remember that.
I do too.
It was a fantastic experience on how they detox.
So did you go to detox first?
I went to detox first, then came here. And the reason I really selected this was their approach. Mm-hmm. It's yes, you're introduced to the 12 steps, and there's AA meetings and NA meetings, but there's so much more to it that we do here.
Yeah.
Between yoga and meditation and the outings, and getting you out in nature, taking hikes every Tuesday is good for you. And then you get a little fun on Saturdays. You can go, we've been to Top Golf.
I bet that was
We're going to
fun.
do axe throwing this coming weekend. So we've had a lot of different fun activities. Jelly ball. They make it enjoyable. That lets you have some fun. And then Tuesday nights after the hike, we go to movies. So that's kind of relaxing. So.
And where did you go to detox at, you said?
Knoxville Recovery.
And how was that for you?
It was great.
Okay. Was there anything different?
Extremely well run. This is anything.
And it was your first time at
It was my
detox?
first time.
Gotcha.
Yes. And again, I agreed when I came to Oasis, and I told them there at Knoxville Recovery, I wanted to stay an extra 30 days. In fact, if
I'm
I
really
can
glad you're
swing
doing
a
that.
little bit more, I'll do that as well, if my company will work with me on FMLA. But statistically, the longer you stay, 90 days is probably the best. I know it seems a little long, but your chances of not relapsing are much improved.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I've been reading on, because I'm a scientist, I research everything, and this just seemed like the best place.
Yeah, it's
I spent
an
about
amazing
2
place.
weeks deciding.
Yeah. And you've been here now 30 days? Right at 30
A
days?
little bit longer than that. I came in here October 31st.
Okay. And what are your plans for when you leave here? Have you thought about that yet, or?
I have. They're working with me. My case manager's looking into trying to find the right person to do EMDR therapy, because I am starting EMDR therapy here. They're one of the few recovery places that have a trained clinician to do that type of work. So I want to carry that on. That's an ongoing process. Got some other issues that go back to my childhood. My dad was an alcoholic father and could be very abusive at times.
And when did yours start? How old were you?
That's a good question. I've been drinking for a very long time.
Very long.
And I felt that I controlled it, but I really didn't.
Mm.
And I would binge drink at times. And
Well, when you're younger, you don't really realize what's going on until
No.
you...
no. And I knew what's going on. I've known for a while that I needed to seek help, that I wasn't managing it on my own. But this summer and this
Did
fall,
you have
it really...
support during that time, like with family or?
Yeah,
really?
absolutely. Absolutely. And my wife is, she's been trying to get me to consider this for a while now.
That's good.
So she comes up and visits every week, and
That's great.
she's very supportive about it. And actually, it's kind of funny. My son the roles have been reversed, because he's been through recovery a couple times, and he's currently working on his PhD in architecture at Texas Tech.
So he's doing good now.
He's doing great.
That's amazing.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
He just completed his master's in architecture this summer, along with an MBA simultaneously,
Oh,
and is
wow.
now working as a research
I
assistant.
bet you're very proud.
I am very proud of him. But he's been coaching me now on what to do
Yeah.
and what I need to do, and encouraging me to stay longer.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm really grateful that you told me a little bit about your story, and I can't imagine having to tell that. So I'm really proud of you for that.
yeah, it's difficult, and you just got to come to grips with it. But this place has been great for that.
Yeah, thank you so much for telling your story. And if you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, please just like and follow. And if you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, please just give us a call, because we do want to help you.